and welcome back to EFD, where today we're looking at 5 players who are having a career renaissance this season. 5. Ciro Immobile. Simone Inzaghi knows what it is to be underrated. As a player, he won 3 caps for Italy, but was always in the shadow of his more talented brother. But as a coach, the Italian has come to the rescue of Ciro Immobile, who was on the scrap heap in 2016 at just 26 years old. The forward had scored 10 goals in his previous 46 league games for Dortmund, Sevilla and former club Torino, and Lazio paid under €9 million for him, about a quarter of what Leicester spent on Slimani that same summer. He has repaid them with an incredible 37 goals in 47 Serie A games since, giving him about the same strike rate as Cristiano Ronaldo in La Liga and better than Sergio Aguero in the Prem. Currently, Immobile is the top scorer in Europe's top 5 leagues, with 14 in 11 games, and he's also among the continent's 5 top creators with 6 assists, the same as Kevin De Bruyne. That means that while Leo Messi is contributing a goal every 66 minutes, Immobile is doing it every 49. If he played as many minutes as he did last season and continued to produce at his current rate, Immobile would end the year with 45 goals and 19 assists in the league alone. That seems unlikely to us, but the stats do suggest that he's doing everything right. Only 5 players have taken more shots than him across all of Europe's top 5 leagues. Lazio scored 74 league goals in 2016-17, more than they had managed in any season since they were created. This year they're on track to beat that record with 11 games remaining, and they have Inzaghi and Immobile to thank, the 2 unloved stars of Italian football. 4. Fabian Delph. If there's one Man City player who didn't seem likely to become a Guardiola regular this season, it's Fabian Delph. With De Bruyne, Gundogan, Fernandinho and Yaya Toure all ahead of him in midfield, it looked bleak for Delph. But an injury to 52 million man Benjamin Mendy gave the Englishman an unlikely break at left back. Under Guardiola, fullbacks have often functioned as extra midfielders, and Delph is well suited to this role. Energetic and responsible, the former Villa captain has been heavily involved in play since returning to the lineup, averaging 86 passes a game, the 4th highest in the Prem, behind only teammates Otamendi, Stones and Fernandinho. Delph's 93% accuracy is very tidy. He is willing to take risks in possession to push his team up the field, with 61% of his passes going forward. He's also able to do that with the ball at his feet, tallying 1.3 dribbles per 90, with an insane 88% success rate, to the 0.9 Mendy managed before his knee injury. More importantly, Delph has proved no slouch in the defensive department. Mendy made a combined 3 tackles and interceptions per match during his brief run in the side, and his replacement has hit 2.9, pretty respectable for a man being played out of position. He's only giving away roughly 1 foul every 2 games as well. Overall, the utility man's performance this season has shown his intelligence and selflessness. And if he picks up a Premier League winners' medal this season, he'll surely have to have earned a place in the England World Cup squad next summer. 3. Paulinho. When Barcelona responded to a season in which their arch rivals Real Madrid won the League and the Champions League by spending €40 million on Paulinho, they must have been crying with laughter in Madrid. But 11 games into the league campaign, Barca sit 8 points clear of their rivals, having won 10 and conceding just 4 goals. Paulinho isn't a world-class player, but the Brazilian has been a dependable presence in the Blaugrana shirt. His versatility has allowed Valverde to field him in a variety of roles across the midfield, and the Brazilian has already tallied 3 goals and an assist in under 400 minutes. The stats bear out this idea with a weird mix of attacking and defensive output. Paulinho is currently getting off 2 shots inside the box per game, more than attack-minded midfielders like Coutinho and Pogba, but is creating under a chance every 2 matches, a third of his teammate Rakitic's total. He makes a combined 2.3 tackles and interceptions per 90 minutes, in this case outperforming the Croatian, and also averages 2 take-ons completed each match, with a very high 75% success rate. So he is recycling possession well and carrying the ball upfield nicely. But there may be a warning to Barca buried in the numbers. Paulinho completes around 53 passes per game, which sounds reasonable, but 6 years ago Barcelona's midfield were taking 79 passes per game. Busquets, Iniesta and Rakitic are still in the low 70s, but overall tiki-taka is down across the board. Where Barca used to make over 700 passes in a match, over 250 ahead of the next Spanish side, they have been between 620 and 640 over the last 2 seasons, their lowest total since 2009. They now only manage about 50 passes more than Real Madrid, and it seems that the ball dominance traditionally characteristic of the Catalans is on the wane. Still, a loss of identity might be easier to bear if they win the league this season, and Paulinho's contribution looks likely to help them achieve that goal. Not bad for a Tottenham reject. 2. Phil Jones. 2 years after signing Phil Jones, when the Englishman was still just 21, Alex Ferguson declared that the youngster could go on to be Man United's best ever player. It raised eyebrows at the time, but 4 years on, Jones looks like a top-class defender again, if perhaps a little way off Keane, Best, Cantona and the rest. Under Mourinho this season, Jones has been an aggressive, destructive centre-back and less of a playmaker. He completes under 50 passes a game, fewer than Lindelof, Blind and Valencia, but he has the highest completion rate at the club with 92%. Instead of getting on the ball, he has stepped out of the back line to win the ball back, making 2.7 tackles and interceptions per 90 minutes. Despite his frequent interventions, Jones has been extremely clean. In 11 appearances, he has committed only 4 fouls and has been yellow carded once, while highly rated defenders like Toby Alderweireld and Johnny Evans have 3 apiece. In the air, the former Blackburn player has been borderline unbeatable. He makes around 6 clearances per match, more than anyone else at United, and he wins 72% of his aerial duels, a ridiculous number which actually is better than notable headers of the ball like Sergio Ramos and Virgil van Dijk. And most hearteningly of all, after years of poor health, the 25-year-old has appeared in every one of the Red Devils' Premier League fixtures this season. Mourinho may have brought Phil Jones back from the dead. 1. Paulo Dybala. Okay, so Paulo Dybala was never really out of form, but he did come in for criticism last season. His Serie A output dropped from an amazing 19 goals and 9 assists to 11 goals and 7 assists, while his performance in the Champions League final was widely criticised and led to rumours of a half-time bust-up with Bonucci. However, the Argentinian has started the current campaign in mind-blowing form. After 11 appearances, he already has 11 goals and 2 assists. That means he contributes to a goal every 64 minutes, a vast improvement on last season's already amazing record of a goal involvement every 119 minutes. And when you look at the raw numbers, it's easy to see the reason. Dybala's chances created per game have dropped from 2.4 to 1.9, but every other stat has gone through the roof. He's gone from 3.7 shots per 90 to 5.7, and a higher percentage of those are coming from inside the box than before. In fact, only Harry Kane and Messi have taken more shots than the little Argentinian this year. He also ranks 7th in Europe for completed take-ons, up from 2.8 a match to a massive 3.3. But despite this huge contribution in attack, Dybala has actually become more reliable in defence too. He wins the ball back around 1.6 times a game, more than Juventus teammate Sami Khedira, who in theory should be doing more of the dirty work. Most remarkably of all, Dybala only turns 24 next week, so there could yet be more improvement. No wonder newspapers are already peddling the idea of a January switch to Real Madrid, though on this form, the fee required would be terrifying. That was 5 players who are regaining their form, and if you like that, why don't you check out FDFC, where the guys are attempting to play some football. And don't forget to like and subscribe.